Well, good morning. Um, we're here to do Odd Thomas chapter 43. Um, a couple of disclaimers. First one is that in true Oklahoma fashion, my allergies are kicking my ass today. So if I sound a little stuffy or sniffly, I just know that even potatoes suffer from Oklahoma allergies. Secondly, let me just say that we have a bit of a troublesome, trying to get my glasses to not give you a glare. We have a bit of a troublesome blue jay here today that's kind of being a loudmouth. And of course, the more he bitches, the more other blue jays show up to challenge him. So if you hear something in the background that sounds like a bitchy bird, it is a blue jay that obviously has a real lack um, of self-esteem. And he feels like he must um, show everybody how, super important he is. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at, and we're going to get started. Odd Thomas, Chapter 43. The studios of KPMC Radio, voice of the Maravilla Valley, are on Main Street in the heart of Pico Mundo, in a three-story brick Georgian townhouse between two Victorian edifices housing the law office of Knacker, Hiskus, and the Good Day Bakery. In this last hour of darkness, lights were on in the kitchen of the bakery. When I got out of the car, the street smelled of bread fresh from the oven, cinnamon buns, and the lemon strudel. No bodaks were in sight. The lower floors of KPMC housed the business offices. Broadcast studios are on the third level. Stan Spanky Luffmunder was the engineer on duty. Harry Bemis, who managed to survive in the radio business without a nickname, was the producer of, quote, All Night with Seamus Cocobolo, end quote. I made faces at them through the triple insulated view window between the third floor hall and their electronic airy. After conveying by hand gestures that I should copulate with myself, they gave me the OK sign, and I continued along the hall to the door to the broadcast booth. From the speaker in the hallway at low volume issued String of Pearls by the immortal Glenn Miller, the platter that Seamus was currently spinning on the air. The music actually originated from a CD, but on his show, Seamus uses the slang of the 1930s and 40s. Harry Bemis alerted him, so when I entered the booth, Seamus took off his headphones, tuned up the on-air feed just enough to stay on track with it, and said, Hey, wizard, welcome to my Pico Mundo. To Seamus, I am the Wizard of Odd, or Wizard for short. He said, Why don't you smell like peach shampoo? The only soap I had was unscented Neutrogena. He frowned. It's not over between you and the goddess, is it? It's only just begun, I assured him. I'm glad to hear it. The foam cone walls mellowed our voices and smoothed the rough edges. The lenses of his dark glasses were the blue of old milk of magnesia bottles. His skin was so black that it too seemed to have a blue tint. I reached in front of him and put down the meditation card, snapping it sharply against the countertop to intrigue him. He played cool, didn't pick it up right away. I planned to come by the grill after the show, chow down on a heart-stopping pile of fried shaved ham, shoestring onions, and biscuits and gravy. As I circled the microphone island, sat on a stool opposite him, and pushed the other mic aside on its flexible arm, I said, I won't be cooking this morning, and I've got the day off. What do you do on a day off? Go out there and moon around at the tire store? I thought I might go bowling. You're one wild party animal, wizard. I don't know how your lady keeps up with you. The Miller tune rapped. Seamus leaned into the mic and let ad-libbed patter dance off his tongue, cueing back-to-back cuts of Benny Goodman's 1 o'clock jump and Duke Ellington's Take the A-Train. I like to listen to Seamus on the air and off. He has a voice that makes Barry White and James Earl Jones sound like carnival barkers with strep throat. To radio people, he's the velvet tongue. From 1 a.m. to 6 every day, but Sunday, Seamus spins what he calls the music that won the big war, and recounts tales of the nightlife of that long-ago age. The other 19 hours of the day, KPMC eschews music in favor of talk radio. Management would prefer to shut down during those 5 least listened hours, but their broadcast license requires them to serve the community 24/7. This situation gives Seamus the freedom to do anything he wants, and what he wants is to immerse himself and his insomniac listeners in the glories of the big band era. In those days, he says, the music was real, and life was more grounded in truth, reason, and goodwill. The first time I heard this rap, I expressed surprise that he would feel such affinity for an age of active segregation. His answer was, I'm black, blind, seriously smart, and sensitive. No age would be easy for me. At least the culture had culture then. It had style. Now, he told his audience, close your eyes, picture the Duke in his trademark white tux, and join me, Seamus Cocobolo, as I ride that A train to Harlem. His mother named him Seamus because she wanted her son to be a police detective. When he went blind at 3, a law enforcement career ceased to be an option. The Cocobolo came with his father, straight out of Jamaica. Picking up the black plastic card, holding it by the top and bottom edges between the thumb and forefinger of his right hand, he said, some stupefyingly stupid bank gave you a credit card? I was hoping you could tell me what it says. He slid one finger across the card, not really reading it, just determining its nature. Oh, wizard, surely you don't think I need meditation when I've got Count Basie and Satchmo and Artie Shaw. So you know what it is. The last couple of years, people have given me maybe a dozen of these things, all different inspirational thoughts as though blind people can't dance, so they meditate. No offense, wizard, but you're entirely too cool to give me a plastic, fantastic, spiritual whiz-bang like this, and I'm a little embarrassed for you. You're welcome, but I'm not giving it to you. I'm just curious what it says in Braille. I'm relieved to hear that, but why curious? I was born that way. I get the point. None of my business. He read the card with his fingertips and said, Father of lies. Father of lies? Lies. Untruths. The phrase was familiar to me, but for some reason, I couldn't make sense of it, perhaps because I didn't want to. The devil, Seamus said. The father of lies, father of evil, his satanic majesty. What's the story, wizard? Is St. Bart's old-time religion just too boring these days? You need a whiff of sulfur to give your soul a thrill? It's not my card. So whose card is it? A nurse at County General told me to drive pedal to the metal into the desert, toss it out a window, and let the wind take it. For a nice boy who makes an honest living with a fast spatula, you sure hang around with some seriously whacked people. He slid the card toward me, across the microphone islands. I got up from my stool. Don't you leave that brimstone Braille here, he said. It's just a plastic, fantastic, spiritual whiz-bang, remember? My twin reflection watched me from the dark blue lenses of his glasses. Seamus said, I knew a practicing Satanist once. The guy claimed he hated his mother, but he must have loved her. Cops found her severed head in his freezer, in a sealed plastic bag with rose petals to keep it fresh. I picked up the meditation card. It felt cold. Thanks for your help, Seamus. You be careful, wizard. Interestingly, eccentric friends aren't easy to find. If you were suddenly dead, I'd miss you. All right, that was chapter 43. See you next time for chapter 44.